Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to replace a rear wheel bearing in your 2006 Acura TSX. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you what my wheel bearing sounds like now that I have the car jacked up. It's pretty rough. I just about drove the wheels off this thing, so it's definitely time to replace the wheel bearing. Alright guys, after you jacked your car up and got your wheel off, first bolt we're going to take out is this brake line bracket. So our brake line is loose. We'll have more wiggle room to move around our caliper. That is a 12mm nut. Once you have removed the 12mm bolt holding in your brake line, the next two bolts will be your brake caliper flange bolts. You have one here and you have one here. Those are 14mm bolts. Once you have removed your two flange bolts, your brake caliper will now be free to move off of the rotor. Be sure to hang this somewhere where it doesn't leave pressure on your brake line. Before we take off the rotor, we must get this brake caliper bracket off. That requires two 14mm bolts on the back side. You have one down here and you have one right there. Remove those and your bracket should come straight off. Now that I have my brake caliper bracket off, I'm going to go ahead and remove the rotor. To do that, I need to remove these two Phillips. I'm going to use a manual impact with a hammer to do so. All right, after you got your screws out, your rotor should just slide right off. Here's your wheel bearing. There's 4 bolts that you can access from the back side. These are 14mm bolts. All right, you guys, it's my last bolt. Once your last bolt is out, your wheel bearing should come right out. That is what it looks like. There it is inside, a little bit of grease spilled up. But yeah, so this is the old wheel bearing, and I will show you guys the new one. All right, you guys, here's our new wheel bearing and our old wheel bearing side by side. Make sure new wheel bearing has its O-ring, and you're going to put it just like it came off. It can only go on one way, so can't mess this one up. All right, I got the new wheel bearing in. I will say it did not slide in easy. I had to use a rubber mallet, but it is in. And I've already started 2 bolts, 2 of my 4 bolts. I would recommend using anti-seize on these bolts, but unfortunately I don't have any, so my car's already at 270,000 miles, so I can't imagine I'll have to replace this wheel bearing again, so it is what it is. All right, our wheel bearing is in and tight. I have tightened the 4 bolts down to the proper spec. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide my rotor on. Look for your recessed screw holes in your rotor and line them up with the holes in the wheel bearing. Perfect. Take your screws and screw those back in. Just until they stop. All right, once you've done that, go ahead and put everything back in the same order that you took it off. All right, you guys, got the bracket on, got the caliper put back. Make sure all the brake pads are where they're supposed to be. I hooked the brake line back into the bracket that we took off in the beginning. And that is it. That is how you change a rear wheel bearing in your 2006 Acura TSX. Hope that helped, guys.